The way we study the mind is constantly evolving. We hear a lot about new methods in psychiatry, psychology, and just simple talk therapy. But there are groundbreaking advancements in neuroscience as well, specifically here in St. Louis at Washington University School of Medicine. In their radiology department, scientists are developing new neurotechnology that will change the way we analyze the mind.
So what we're developing is diffuse optical tomography, and we're now working on the wearable version of that.
Diffuse optical tomography, or DOT for short. It's the modality they're using to image the brain, and they formed it into a wearable device. Professor Joe Culver and other colleagues received a grant from the National Institute of Health to create a new brain imaging cap that uses LED light to read and analyze the mind. Unlike other methods, such as magnetic resonance imaging and positron emission tomography, DOT is a more non-invasive way to look inside of the body.
The ultimate goal is to image people while they're having a conversation like this. But there are sort of waypoints in between, like having people just watch Pixar movies or Finding Nemo or whatever.
When using this device, the patient will put on a helmet attached to a large computer and will follow instructions for small tasks. The helmet will record signals from the brain that will be analyzed and stored later. It's not completely portable yet, so you can't put on the device and go for a walk in the park, but you can do small tasks or sit and watch a movie, which gives more information on how the brain is operating in realistic life scenarios. They even have one specially made for children. One of the developers for this device created it with neurodivergent children in mind.
So right now Beatrice is watching a video where there's an actor basically sitting comfortably and then suddenly doing some kind of novel dance routines, moving their arms around. And Beatrice's job is to basically imitate in real time all of the actions that the actor is doing. And so what we're doing is we're measuring her brain function while she's performing these imitative motor actions. We could have a kid or an adult wear a cap, like a swim cap, say during this conversation or while they're just naturally behaving in a room and exploring a new environment, to understand how their brains are co-varying with their behavior. And then importantly, how their brain function is changing if they have a diagnosis of something like autism or anxiety or cerebral palsy or any number of other neurodevelopmental disorders. You know, the more kids and adults and participants are wearing the technology and we're able to understand how our brains are actually working, the more it'll destigmatize, non-neurotypical brain function in childhood development. And it's really important that it will help people get the care and the interventions that they need to kind of maximize their happiness and their health throughout their lifespan.
When we first were working on this, I remember we had a news story come out about the system being set up in a way that you could image kids. And we had a mom contact me, and the question was like, oh, could we use this on my son? I always wanted to know what he's thinking. So it's like a common thing, right? People want to know what 2-year-olds are thinking. They only have words that can say so much, right? You know, there are mental health disorders that are of interest in kids, but there's also just knowing how a healthy brain develops. Like when and why does language develop where it does? The reason that this technology will have impact over the next 5 years, I think, are these themes of increasing, if you want to do functional neuroimaging in a person, you want it to be something that they do in a normal everyday life.